guys, welcome to Permaculture Perspectives. Today I'm just going to be doing a little bit of seed starting in my new place, and I'm also going to be talking about why I love permaculture part 2, because I realized that there's an important thing that I kind of missed in the first video. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Permaculture Perspectives. Thanks for sticking around, and thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I kind of skipped over or didn't really touch on in my last video. Not the last one I made, but the last Why I Love Permaculture video. And I just got reminded about it because I rewatched a video on YouTube that really inspired me. So I just wanted to touch on that in this video really quickly. And it's going to be structured a little bit differently than my other videos. And that's because I just thought, well, we just moved to a new place. And I thought it might be nice to just integrate a bit of actual gardening into my videos rather than just my face. So I thought, yeah, I'm just going to be setting up some little seed starting trays. Actually, just this one tray in this video, and I'll just talk as I do it so that you guys just have more stuff to look at. And if you've never done seed starting before, you can see that it's really simple and anyone can do it. I got most of the stuff at the dollar store, except for this. And then the seeds I got, and this was like $7, and the seeds are all like from friends, so I didn't pay anything for these. So yeah, anyone can do seed starting if they have time. And actually, time is the topic of this video. So let's see, where am I gonna start? Right, so I'll just talk about this video that was very inspiring to me. And it's a video that I saw like years ago, like 5 years ago maybe, I don't know. And by the way, if you guys are interested, this is seed starting soil. And the first time I ever started my own seeds, I made the mistake of just buying regular potting soil, and it was way too dense for the seeds, so pretty much none of them grew. So if you've never started your own seeds, make sure you get seed starting soil. It's really light and fluffy, and it just makes it easy for the little baby seeds to start their roots. So anyway, let's see, where was I? And I'm just, by the way, just to, sorry, I'm filling these to like 4/5 of the height of the cup. And I'm going to put the seed in, and then I'm going to put a little bit more on top, and then I'm going to water them. That's what I'm doing, just so you guys know. Okay, so back to the YouTube video that I was talking about. It's a video that features Geoff Lawton, who's like one of the most famous permaculture teachers out there. A lot of people who know permaculture know Geoff Lawton. He's got tons of videos about forest gardening and greening the desert and stuff on YouTube, so you can check those out. But the video that I'm talking about is just a 4-minute, really short video. I don't know if he's actually connected to the making of the video because it's only an audio clip of his voice, and then it's like a computer animated version of him like sitting in this forest, and there's some other imagery, and the video, it's a little bit weird the way it's animated. Interesting, but kind of strange. But what I want to focus on is the audio of like what he actually talks about in the video. So what he says pretty much, he talks about the relationship between meaningful activities and time. So what he says essentially is that there are different ways that people spend their time. And a lot of people are doing things on a daily basis, are engaging in a routine that is not really meaningful for them. They wish they could be doing something else, but they're too scared to do it. Out of fear, they don't change their lifestyle. They decide to keep living as they're living, doing maybe a job that's not fulfilling or other things in their life, and They have this fear, and they never really change. And so he says that time is perceived in a certain way when you're living your life that way. It seems that every moment in the moment drags on. So like, say you're at work, kind of count the hours. I've definitely been in that situation. You're just like waiting until you can leave work, or because you're not doing something you like, the time just seems to drag on, right? But then when you look back in retrospect, like a year later, because you haven't really done something that's meaningful to you, that year seems to have flown by. So it's kind of like a paradox. Time seems to go slowly in the moment, but when you look back over a longer period of time, it kind of flies by, but in the sense that you don't know where that time has gone because you haven't been engaging meaningfully in meaningful activities. So he says that in permaculture, it's a lot easier to find meaning because just because of the essence of what permaculture is, because it encourages people to get their hands dirty in soil, to connect with nature very physically, and just the observance of nature. Like, one of the main focuses in permaculture is to observe and interact. You have to look around you, and when you actually stop and look around you and look at nature just being itself, it's almost like time stops. Because when you really engage your mind in that kind of observation, it's like really ignites this sense of wonder in people, you know? And it's kind of profound. I can't really explain it, but I'm sure most people can, or some people can relate to what I'm talking about. So that's one thing that permaculture helps people do. Another thing is that it fosters a sense of community. And when you have a sense of community, you have people in your life that you care about. And when you're doing work that involves people that you care about, it gives your life meaning. And so time in this kind of situation passes differently. So he says that when you're engaged in a life that's meaningful to you, it's kind of the reverse of the other lifestyle. So in the moment, time seems to pass really quickly because you're doing things you like. Time doesn't drag on. You don't feel like there's so many more hours you have to fill. You feel like there's not enough hours in the day to do everything that you want to do. But then when you look back over time, you've had this really full experience, so you feel like you've done so much with your time. Your time has been meaningful, full of meaning. Sorry, I just heard a weird noise. And so that's like, I don't know, I just like randomly came across that video, and it really like struck a chord with me when I saw it. And it's kind of what I've been working towards as a permaculturist, having that life that's full of meaning, having every moment feel like I'm doing something for a reason that I actually believe in. And that's what permaculture essentially is doing something that you believe in. And it all, like, this totally might like not be, you know, it for all people. Like, people derive meaning from a million different things, but I think people who feel like they want to either know consciously that they want to be closer to nature, or maybe people who just discover that they love gardening once they try it. Everyone that I know in those two categories has experienced the same thing with time. Like, I don't know, just a small little gardening experiment that me and my partner did. I remember like how much meaning that gave us. How fun it was to build something with our own two hands and then watch it develop over time. I remember we could spend like hours just staring, and we literally just, it was when we were first starting out, with permaculture, and we literally just built this tiny little like keyhole garden bed. If you don't know what keyhole garden beds are, I'll post a link below. They're pretty much just a circular bed with a little like keyhole shape in it so that you can get to all the plants in a sort of efficient way. We built this tiny little keyhole bed. It was in the middle of my parents' backyard, and it was like one of the most fulfilling things ever. And it was just one tiny little thing. Like just going out there and looking at it, watching it grow. I never experienced that kind of satisfaction. And also it really spurs this kind of, or it awakens this kind of like childlike curiosity in you. Like a sense of really wonder and amazement at what's going on, even if you're just watching some beans and lettuce grow together. I think that's what really attracts people to permaculture, is that sense of like having meaning, you know? Because I think one of the worst feelings, or two of the worst feelings out there, are boredom and loneliness. And essentially, permaculture is like a cure for boredom and loneliness, because you have something to engage with all the time. And the ethic of people care, and the fact that it actually like does attract so many people to it and builds community, really tackles the issue of loneliness. Because you not only know people, you really connect with them about something specific. So, yeah. All right. What am I gonna plant? Well, how about some wild fennel? Wild fennel sounds like a good idea. Just gotta make sure I keep track of these seeds. So the lady who gave us these seeds was a friend of a friend, has a beautiful garden, and just decided to give us a huge stash of seeds the day we met her. And I think that's another thing that permaculture, like I think we definitely live in a society where we feel a lot of pressure to make more money, even more money than we need, to have a higher ranking or status, to compete with each other. And I think there's this underlying belief that we live in a world that experiences constant scarcity, like especially of money, that there's never enough. And permaculture really does away with that belief, because you're able to create such productivity in small spaces, and it's just like amazing how much abundance there can be. I'm sure you've seen those videos where they compare a lawn to like a forest garden or whatever, but actually seeing that with your own eyes is pretty amazing. And then when you have all this abundance, the third ethic of permaculture is that you distribute the surplus. So people start distributing the surplus. They start giving you seeds. They start giving you what they have in abundance, what they don't need anymore, which is really amazing. So I'm just putting 2 of these. Maybe I'll put 3. Putting 3 of these in every little pot, and then when they sprout up, I'm just gonna keep the strongest one. The first time that I started seeds, working on the same keyhole bed project that I told you guys about last time, we didn't know. We just planted like a little handful of seeds in every pot, and then when they sprouted up, we were like, oh my god, it's like a little tiny forest in this little tiny planter. It's so cute. And we just left it, and then it just stopped growing. And we were like, okay, what's going on here? We didn't realize that when you plant a whole bunch of seeds in one tiny space, they're all competing. They're not, like, they need more space, right? And then, so I had to get in there and then just pick the strongest one or two and let those grow. And I felt so bad killing all the little babies. But yeah, don't make that mistake. The same mistake that I made the first time. What am I doing? Just plant a few seeds in each pot. And so I'm gonna cover these guys. A bit more soil. I'm not gonna press it down too much, just a little. And the way I garden is generally intuitive, and when things aren't working, then I look it up. So I don't know if that's like the best way or not. Come on, water. There we go. Just gonna water this down pretty well. Make sure you do this on a tray because, well, obvious reasons. And these are just made of cardboard, so these can be composted. And hopefully, maybe, as I continue making videos, I can track the progress of these guys for you guys, which is really cool. I always like seeing progress. So again, this has been another kind of rambly video. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but I just really want to be like natural and talk about what's on my mind. So yeah, this was episode 2 of why I love permaculture, and who knows, I might make this into like a whole mini series because I keep thinking of more reasons why I like permaculture. So I guess you guys can stay tuned for that. I've got a bunch more videos coming out pretty soon. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed to my channel. If you guys want to join the conversation on permaculture, feel free to comment below or message me. And yeah, subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, give it a like, and I hope to connect with you. So I'll see you next time on Permaculture Perspectives. Take care.